Welcome to Confident AF Live, taking your mindset next level to get next year's results today with me, your host, Brandon Foster. Are you a badass peep with big dreams, ready to turn your unrealistic goals into reality? Confident AF Live is the gateway to enormous new opportunities and unlimited possibilities. The unrealistic can suddenly become realistic for you if you believe it. Are you ready to take your dreams and results to the next level? Then stay tuned as we help crack open the door to new ways of impactful thinking and believing about yourself with mindset practices for badass people like you. Confident AF Live starts right now. Hello, everybody, and I believe this is airing on Happy Valentine's Day. So happy Valentine's Day to all of you, whether you are in a long-term relationship, you're married, you're single, you're going out, you're not going out, you have chocolate candy, you don't have chocolate, like whatever you listen to this, happy Valentine's Day. I hope you can feel the love coming from me over to you wherever you are. I'm super excited you are here. My name is Brandon, and I'm here to encourage all the badasses out there to achieve your wild and crazy dreams inside of your life and your business. If you haven't subscribed to the podcast episode, make sure you do that. I gotta say that before I forget to say that, and before you forget to subscribe so you can catch on all the episodes. Today, we're gonna talk about overcommitment. And the reason why we're talking about this is, as I said in the episode description, this is something that has been put on my radar by God, by the universe, that, hey, Brandon, I know that you like to do so many cool things. You like to have your hands in all the cookie jars, but sometimes it's better to have your hand in just a few cookie jars and do things really, really well, as opposed to having your hand in all of the cookie jars. So it has been, actually, tomorrow will be my, I don't like the word last, but temporarily will be, no, it's not really temporarily either. I don't know how to word it, but it is basically an end of a chapter. And that I have been the resident mindset expert for Careers on Vacation, or actually Wanderlust Campus, which is an ASA certified travel school that's won over 8 Magellan Awards by Travel Weekly. And tomorrow will be the last chapter for me in terms of being the resident mindset expert, which a position I've held for almost exactly 4 years. And so one of the reasons why I am leaving in that capacity is because I have my book coming out, Confident AF, Unleash Your Inner Badass. I am very focused on my own mastermind programs, Born to Slay, my digital courses to help entrepreneurs and badasses like you shift their mindset so they do things that matter inside of their business. They don't get stuck, they're not paralyzed, and they can live out the life of their dreams. And I realized that I needed to clear some space so I could be more intentional on that. And that was revealed to me again through that word called overcommitment. So let's talk about what overcommitment is. So the definition of it is to commit excessively. And you know how, like, in definitions they have like the A and the B definition? So the A definition is to obligate beyond the ability of fulfillment. So basically, you're going to say you're going to do something and you can't fulfill it. To allocate resources in excess of capacity for replenishment. So this is why overcommitment is dangerous, because basically in overcommitment, you have really good intentions, like you want to accomplish things, you want to do things, whether it be for your business, for other people. However, you don't actually haven't developed the capacity to actually honor those commitments and those agreements fully to fruition. And that is very dangerous, because that can eradicate trust with yourself, with other people, in all the ways. Now, as a business owner, so many of you are entrepreneurs, Congratulations for deciding to turn your dreams into reality. And I have discovered that most of the time for entrepreneurs, there's 4 specific categories where we tend to overcommit as we grow and scale a business. So the first one is we tend to overcommit in regards to our time. I feel like we do this because we think a project or a task is going to take longer time than it's actually going to take. I feel that we do this in terms of being involved in other things besides of our zone of genius in our business. I also feel like we overcommit in terms of when you have that 9 to 5 funding source and you're working on growing and scaling your business and supporting it. And number 2, the other way that we tend to overcommit inside of our business is we tend to overcommit with a verbal word to others, whether it be to your team, saying you're going to build something or do something to help them and support them and not do it, or whether you overcommit to your clients about what you're going to do or how you're going to support them and work with them, or vendors. So basically people in your world, which also could be your family, right? You could overcommit to your family and say you're going to do all these things on the weekend, but you have your business things to do and vice versa. You can also overcommit to yourselves, which is like all of these are dangerous because they all erode trust if you don't actually do what you're going to set out to do. And it also depends on the verbiage and the word that you use when you commit to doing certain things. And now I'm really curious about the word commitment and what that means, and if that means promise. I think we should look that up really, really quickly. So I'm going to look up the word commitment really quick and just see what it is. The state or quality of being dedicated to a cause. An engagement or obligation that restricts freedom of action. Yeah, so when you overcommit, you have no freedom. When you overcommit, you have no freedom. The state or quality of being dedicated to a cause. So you're dedicated to too many activities. That sounds like a pretty accurate definition of overcommitment, if you ask me. So we can overcommit in time, overcommit to others. We can overcommit to ourselves, which is when I know you all have done this before. When you write like a 30-page, maybe it's not 30 pages, maybe it's just 30 items, but 30 items of things you need done today by like 10 a.m. and it's only 8 o'clock in the morning. That would be a great example of overcommitment to ourselves. And again, you don't do all those things and you overcommit, then you erode your self-trust. Whereas if you narrowed it down, like I teach in my Born to Slay Mastermind, to the Ivy Lee needle mover method, where you have 6 things, no more than that, to get done every single day, then the benefit is that you have clarity and you have focus and you're not overcommitting. So you tend to do more of what you say you're going to do, which creates trust. Trust creates momentum and excitement and eagerness, which builds is like a snowball. And then like you're going downhill instead of going uphill. And it's just a completely different energy. And then the fourth one that I put in here where I see entrepreneurs overcommit is financially, because especially when you're starting a business out or you want to grow and scale a business that has been around for a while, one of the things that you really want to do is, if like it's natural to want to do, is to reinvest money inside of your business to grow it and scale it and to get better processes, better systems in place, people, personnel, offload off your plate, which is great, right? Because you're getting your time back. But the thing is if you overextend financially and in your commitments, that can be a really big burden. And trust me, I am all about manifesting more money, manifesting more clients, doing all the mindset work about that. As my friend Amanda Francis talks about, being an energetic match for the money that you desire, being in a state of up and up only, like all of that stuff is true. I've also noticed from my own personal experience and by watching others that you can also manifest more money, but also keep increasing your expenses. So you're not really getting a chance to enjoy the money that you earn, or not running as profitable as a business as you could actually be running. And so you can still overextend yourself, overcommit yourself financially, even in a period of growth, even when people are signing up, even when things look really good, even when you're getting the leads, when like all the things are happening, right? You can still overcommit and overextend yourself. And let's remember that the two most precious resources of building a business is going to be your time, and it's going to be your money. And the thing is, you're going to pay for it in time, or you're going to pay for it in money. So if you pay for it in time, you will not be able to stick in your zone of genius because you're putting out more time to do things to save you financial resources. If you do pay for financial resources, you're going to save yourself time. You can do more things inside of your business, which is beautiful, but you're going to have to spend the money to pay somebody else to do it. So then you can overcommit that way. So overcommitment can be, in some respects, good for growth, because a little bit of overcommitment can create pressure on your system. So pressure on your lead system, pressure on your marketing system, which would be your lead system, pressure on your clients' success system, your protocols, like pressure on everything. And a little bit of pressure is good because a little bit of pressure grows muscle, right? And like if you think about it, you go to the gym and you max out. And what is a max out day or maxing out on exercise? You are overloading the capacity, the bandwidth of your muscles until they literally cannot go anymore, until exhaustion. And what happens is you're tearing down the muscles to rebuild so much stronger and so much better than they ever have before, better than they've ever thought they would ever improve before, all the things. And sometimes a little bit of overcommitment can do that. It can be the added pressure, the maxing out as a business owner, as a badass, where you fine tune your processes or recalibrate them, your procedures in terms of sales, marketing, client life cycle, employee training, IC training, like all the things. It can be a really, really good and beautiful thing. Where it turns out not to be a very good not be a very good thing, and we have like a London bridges falling down type of incident, is when it is so overcommitted that like you're so maxed out that the weight just crushes you, right? And when you overcommit financially, that's how you get into like a financial hole you have to get yourself out of in terms of debt and finances. When you overcommit with time, you're stressed out, your health takes a toll, you're not getting sleep, you're living off of caffeine, and you're acting cray-cray, and your eyes are bloodshot, and you look like Cruella de Vil. Have you guys seen that meme where Cruella de Vil is like driving and her eyes are all like, bloodshot? Like that's what happens when you overcommit with time. If you overcommit with others, I mean, I feel like overcommitting with others is maybe not more dangerous, but it's just different kind of dangerous in that you can really erode relationships really fast when you are, even if you have really good intention, when you're honoring commitments and agreements to your family, like especially your kids going to like a t-ball game or a dance recital or soccer match, like whatever it is. You can definitely erode trust in working relationships if you don't have the support tools and resources that are going to help your team members for them to get where they want to go. And you have to remember that relationships, one of the cornerstones of relationships is trust. And when you say you're going to do something and then you don't do it, you don't follow through or you miss it, then you're overcommitting and you're eroding that trust. And it might be okay if you do it once and you say you're sorry, but when it becomes a pattern, it becomes really, really serious. And you know, 2 movies represent this so good. Liar Liar with Jim Carrey, right? Because he keeps promising he's going to be home for his son's birthday and then he's not there, and it like almost ruins the relationship because his overcommitment with work and his lying. And then the other one is last night we just watched The Devil Wears Prada, and Anne Hathaway's, I think it's Hathaway's character, was becoming more and more consumed and overcommitted at work that her relationship with her boyfriend was disintegrating and almost lost that entire relationship. So how do we actually start to be aware of overcommitments, and what do we actually do to try to prevent it? So the first thing you want to do is get clear on what matters most in your heart. And these are your lead values, right? Like, what is most important to you? Your family, your business, making money, your health. Like, what is most important to you? And whatever is most important to you needs to determine your commitments, and that those commitments can share space so that we're not overcommitted. The second thing you need to do is prioritize your commitments, not just on your values, but on your spiritual life purpose, like your deeper impact, like deeper meaning. One of the things that was so cool when I created Born to Slay is, and I actually learned this idea from Gabby Bernstein, this principle of a faith statement, but then I took it and took it to a whole new level, and in my own way of why a faith statement matters, what it's and why it's important, what its intent is, what's included in it. And then I realized that something that has really served me really good inside of my businesses is having a mission statement that is really more about spiritual service. And it's almost like a mission statement to me is almost like a faith statement for a business. Like, how does God show up in the business? How is it of high service to people? How does it bless the world? How does it do good? Why is it done in love? All those kinds of pieces. So if you can prioritize your with your life purpose, your mission, leading the way in your life and in your business, that will also help you not to overcommit, because you're going to have even more clarity on what matters most, right? And then the third one is leave breathing room, especially if you're going to do something new in your business you've never done before. Give yourself space for it to take a little bit longer than you think it's going to take. Give space for those deep red brain activities. Give yourself space financially to do the investment in the coaching program, the mastermind, buy the tool, whatever it is. Like, give yourself breathing room so you don't feel overcommitted and constrained, because living your life not being free is one of the worst feelings in the world. And remember, I just read to you that the definition of commitment is an agreement or obligation that restricts freedom. So if you're overcommitting, then you are creating a life where you feel restricted and you don't feel free, because you have duty and obligations to other people that you are meant to honor. So the lesson in all of this is don't overcommit. Don't bite off more than you can chew. It's okay to max out at the gym, max out in your business, but don't do it so that the weight crushes your windpipe and causes you to go into cardiac arrest. It is not required, not the way life is meant to be. Thank you all so much for listening to this podcast episode. The next episode that we have next week is going to be about the 7 consequences of setting bigger goals. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that. And of course, also want to see you inside of the Facebook group, Confident AF Mindset Practices, for new trainings there as well that are completely different from my podcast, by the way. Thank you all so much for listening, and have a very happy Valentine's Day. You have been listening to Confident AF Live, taking your mindset next level to get next year's results today, with host Brandon Foster on transformationtalkradio.com. Listen or watch live every Wednesday, 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, where I help badasses like you with big dreams learn to take their impact and results next level, turning those unrealistic goals into reality. Confident AF Live is the gateway to enormous new opportunities and unlimited possibilities. For more information, get in touch with me, Brandon, at brandonrfoster.com.